Today's edition of Channel 97 News is sponsored by Antidote Media Solutions, located in downtown St. Louis.
Welcome to this edition of Channel 97 News.
We come to you today from the cafeteria at OHS, and here's a look at just some of the stories you will see on the show.
We take a look at the upcoming Mr. OHS contest.
We examine how teachers and students are preparing for the upcoming AP exams.
We visit with one OHS student who loves to break it down.
And we profile a former OHS standout who has taken her game to the next level.
We'll have all that and much more on today's edition of Channel 97 News.
And it all starts now.
Welcome back to Eyes on the Tigers, Channel 97 News. I'm Morgan Williams.
And I'm Morgan Smith. Next week is Peanut Allergy Awareness Week. Here's our story on just how severe these allergies can be.
In our building alone, we have children somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 to 50 that have some food allergy. 15 of those students have severe peanut allergies.
I'm allergic to mainly corn, barley, like in breads, and peanuts. So since my peanut allergy is mild, I can sometimes, like, if I smell it, then I have to like take my inhaler that I have. And so like I try, if like I see peanut butter somewhere, like someone eating it in the cafeteria, then I try and hold my breath and walk really fast.
They can have an anaphylactic reaction, not just from ingesting peanuts, but from actually being exposed, touching a surface that someone has eaten. This year alone, I have 8 EpiPens on hand. EpiPen is used in case of an anaphylactic reaction, which is basically the person has difficulty breathing. The reaction of hives or some degree of rash is considered a minimal reaction, and a lot of our students go into the more severe anaphylactic reaction. And one way to counteract that is the injection of epinephrine.
I was prescribed an EpiPen a while back, but I don't really, my mom doesn't like me to use it because I don't like die like other people can. Be aware of like other people's allergies. Like, you might love peanut butter, but I mean, it's probably less important than having someone die.
I've been a nurse for 30 years, and I have never in my pediatric experience at Children's Hospital ever seen children with such severe peanut allergies. So as a result of this, to provide safety, we have elected to attempt to make our school peanut free.
With Morgan Williams, I'm Morgan Smith with Channel 97 News.
April is a busy month at OHS. Let's take a look at some other stories around our school.
April 18th was supposed to be an off day for students, but because of excessive snow days, students will now attend school for an early dismissal.
A way to not have to go and extend the school year into June. And I think one of the issues too is the fact that it is June. A lot of people had vacations planned starting in that first week in June. It's also, seniors would have already been graduated. How are you going to make seniors come back to school when they've already been graduated? And so I think all those factors were weighed as to whether or not we needed to make up that a snow day rather than use June 1st.
Daniel Carter was one of 2 representatives from the state of Missouri to attend the United States Senate Youth Program. He spent a week in Washington, D.C. in March.
I did meet the president. We met him in the East Room of the White House. There were 104 delegates, so we had to go through security, a lot of security, a couple ID checks, radiation screening, metal detectors, explosive sniffing dogs, and then we took a tour of the East Wing, we took a tour of the first floor of the White House, and then we went into the East Room and we stood on choir risers. And the president was about 20 minutes late, but we're not going to hold that against him. And he came in and he talked to us for about 15 minutes. and he gave us some advice and took a couple questions as well.
Congratulations to Madison Stinnett, who qualified for the National DECA competition, which will take place in Atlanta, Georgia in May.
It was in like the individual series. We had to do, you had to take a 100-question multiple choice written test or whatever, and then you had to do like 2 role plays is what they called it. And so you were given like a prompt or like a situation, and you had like 10 minutes to prepare for it and come up with a solution. Then they scored you on how professional you were, how good your response was, and stuff.
Maddie got 6th place at state out of about 40 competitors. A lot of it is basic marketing knowledge for the written test, and then because of her outside work experience, I think that helps her in her individual event when she goes into her role plays.
With Sydney Thompson, I'm Kira De La Fuente for Channel 97 News.
This Friday, the school will host one of the most exciting events of the school year, especially for the seniors. Here's a preview from Mr. OHS.
Today's edition of Channel 97 News is sponsored by Antidote Media Solutions, located in downtown St. Louis.
Many students are getting ready for their AP exams next month. Maddie Elking and Michaela Deacon have the story.
AP classes are advanced placement classes. They're weighted courses. The idea being that at the end of the course, students who take the class and the syllabus is completed should be prepared to take the advanced placement exams in May. The benefits that I see is the accelerated level of coursework. I mean, you get to challenge yourself. So you really do move your academic abilities.
We have a pacing guide because there's a lot of information that has to be covered in a short amount of time. Basically what that means is that all of our homework's written down for us. So all we have to do is do the homework, and we are already way ahead of schedule than most other classes would be.
The one thing that's affected them most with the loss of days is they do a lot of practicing, especially the last month or two. You do a lot of practicing and just taking the test and getting them then prepared mentally for taking a test of that magnitude.
It's intense. The College Board sets the dates, first 2 weeks of May, does not care if it snows. So you have to go faster because you still got to cover all the content because the AP test doesn't wait.
It gets kind of stressful, but it's definitely recommended to kind of prepare with groups and just do the work that you need to do to be sure that you're ready for it.
AP testing begins May 5th through 9th and continues May 12th through 16th. Good luck to all students taking AP tests. And with Michaela Deacon, I'm Maddie Elking for Channel 97 News.
For some students, dancing is a passion, but for one OHS student, dancing is a way to make a difference.
Breakdown St. Louis is a nonprofit organization that equips, educates, and empowers teens to make positive life decisions regardless of their past actions. There are 9 scenes, each different situations that teens may go through. There's a suicide scene, there's an abusive relationship scene, there's a party scene. It lasts about 90 minutes. There are dances in between the scenes that we dance to music that deals with what each scene is talking about. And then there's also guest speakers who share their testimonies and what they've gone through in their life and things like that and how they've changed.
I actually was one of those teens that made every poor choice that there was to make out there, and having grown up and kind of changed the way I chose to live life, I look back and just realized that maybe my life would have looked different if I would have been educated on some of the choices and maybe had somebody come alongside of me to tell me that there's a different way to live. And so as a result, I desired to do something that would make an impact in the youth culture.
The most rewarding thing is hearing the students feel empowered by our presentation and realize that they can change no matter what their past experiences are, and it's really cool to hear students say, wow, I didn't know that because I've done this I can change, or what I've done wrong I can fix it in my future and help other students realize that there is time to change, and that's all what the future is about.
OHS has produced many exceptional softball players. Here's a story about one former player who has excelled at a local college.
Since 2001, the OHS softball program has won 10 district championships, including 6 appearances to the state Final Four and a state championship in 2010. With this amount of success, the OHS softball program has produced many outstanding players. 3 recent OHS graduates are currently playing Division I softball. Maggie Reckenbrad at Louisville, Julie Kernan at Tulsa, and Remy Edwards at Miami of Ohio. But one of their former teammates, Marissa Simon, has excelled at Fontbonne University, a local Division III school.
My freshman year when I was healthy, I got to be a third-team All-American, so that was my overall goal that I reached. And I was also Newcomer of the Year for our conference. And last year, I was Player of the Year.
She is an absolute phenom and has carried us for 4 years. You can look through the records of everything we've done, and when she's been involved in what we do, we win softball games. Kid can flat play.
In high school, Simon played on 4 straight district championship teams, including 2 that lost in the state championship game. Simon was also an all-state player her senior year.
Obviously, she was a tremendous softball player, but it was her leadership qualities that stood out. Marissa was always a team-first player and was a tremendous shortstop, started for 4 years for us on the varsity, batted leadoff, batted second, batted third. She was a big part of us, what we did offensively.
Oakville is very competitive when I was in high school, and we always had good players coming in and out, so it was really cool to be able to play a high level of softball, and I guess I just kind of brought it along in college too.
In her years, they went to state, so she was used to championship-style teams.
Even though she has excelled at Fontbonne, playing college softball has not been all that easy.
It's a stress fracture, and I actually still have it. You could probably see me limping some of the times, but basically what it was is the bone cracked, and because it's on top of the shin, it's really hard to heal in that area, so I'll pretty much be living with it for the rest of my life.
It's incredible because it's terrible pain. I mean, she was an All-American her freshman year, which doesn't happen often. I don't care what level you're playing at, but as a Division III freshman shortstop, an All-American, and then to come set back with this stress fracture, she comes back after a short time off and carries us to get us back into the playoffs.
With Zach Ramirez, I'm Evan Lockman for Channel 97 News.
And now it's time to see what Natalie and Sophie are up to as we go tiger walking.
Welcome to Tiger Walking. Today we asked students who would play them if their life was a movie.
Will Smith.
Jennifer Lawrence.
A blue duck because, you know, I've never seen a blue duck before, and to be honest, I just want to see a blue duck.
Seth Rogen would play it because safety first and then teamwork.
My best friend Lindsay because we're just alike.
Drake because it's Drake.
Hulk Hogan because we both love to wrestle.
Morgan Freeman because Morgan Freeman.
Batman because he's strong.
Well, you see, I would probably vote Nick Lansford because his great hair, great body.
Hannah Montana would play me because we both have double lives. Shh! I'm Natalie Schmidt with Sophie Stein with Channel 97 News.
Well, that wraps up this edition of Channel 97 News. And be sure to join us for our next broadcast on April 28th.
We also hope that you check out all of the broadcasts on myohsonline.com. Just click on the Channel 97 tab. Thanks for watching today's show. I'm Morgan Smith.
And I'm Morgan Williams. And remember, Oakville, keep your eyes on the Tigers.
Today's edition of Channel 97 News is sponsored by Antidote Media Solutions, located in downtown St. Louis.